I'm Alex Stratos, and this is a presentation on mitosis and meiosis. Cell cycle. The events that occur in the cell cycle are divided into a number of stages. The first, growth phase, when the cell produces new proteins and carries out its normal task. This phase ends when the cell's DNA begins to replicate. The synthesis phase, when the DNA molecules in the cell nucleus form exact duplicates of themselves. The second growth phase, which involves preparation for cell division, and the mitotic phase, when the cell divides into two daughter cells. Interphase. This is the period before cell divisions, and in this phase the cell goes through the first growth, synthesis, and second growth phases of the cell cycle. Mitosis. This is a part of the cell cycle processes which in nuclear division creates two daughter cells with identical sets of chromosomes. In these daughter cells they maintain the same number of chromosomes, 23 pairs. All somatic cells, or non-sexual cells, are formed by mitosis which contain the diploid number of cells. Prophase. In this phase, chromatin in the nucleus begins to condense and become visible in the light microscope as chromosomes. The nucleolus disappears, centrioles begin moving to opposite ends of the cell, and fibers extend from the centromeres. Some fibers cross the cell to form the mitotic spindle. Metaphase. In this phase, chromatid pairs align with the equator of the spindle, and centromeres of each pair are attached to a spindle fiber. Anaphase. In this phase, each pair of chromatids separate at the centromeres, and these independent strands now are called chromosomes. The individual chromosomes are pulled apart to opposite sides of the cell by the spindle fibers. Telophase. This is the final phase of mitosis. The two sets of chromosomes form tight groups at each pole of the cell. The nuclear membrane forms again around each group, the spindle fibers disappear, and the chromosomes uncoil to become chromatin threads. Cytokinesis. While telophase is happening, the cytoplasm begins to divide, and this is called cytokinesis. Furrow develops in the cytoplasm between the new nuclei, and this deepens until it cuts the cytoplasm into two parts, and each has its own nucleus. Meiosis. Meiosis is the production of gametes or sexual cells, and in this, diploid cells are reduced to haploid cells. Gametes must be haploid, because when they join together in fertilization, they form a diploid zygote. A zygote has the same chromosome number as the parents, but has some characteristics of the mother and some of the father. Meiosis in males is called spermatogenesis, and in females it is called oogenesis. Prophase 1. In this first stage of meiosis, chromosomes condense and synapses forms tetrads, which is two chromosomes, and crossing over may occur. Chromatids may be attached to different homologous chromosomes, which are chromosomes with same strands. Thus, instead of producing only two types of chromosome, 4 different chromosomes are produced. This doubles the variability of gamete genotypes. The occurrence of a crossing over is indicated by a special structure, a chiasma. Since the recombined inner alleles will align more with the others of the same type. Crossing over between homologous chromosomes produces chromosomes with new associations of genes and alleles. Metaphase 1. Metaphase 1 is the second stage of meiosis, and in this centromeres line up with the spindle fibers, and spindle fibers attach to the centromeres of homologous pairs. Anaphase 1. In this next stage of meiosis, the tetrads separate and are drawn to opposite sides by the spindle fibers. Telophase 1. In this final phase of the first division of meiosis, each pole has a haploid number of chromosomes, and nuclear membranes may or may not form. Two daughter cells with a haploid number of chromosomes are formed after this. Second division. The same process which happened in the first stages of meiosis is repeated with the two daughter cells, and in this there is no interphase, and 4 haploid cells are formed. Comparison between mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis undergoes only one nuclear division, and meiosis undergoes 2. In mitosis, it produces 2 diploid daughter cells, and meiosis produces 4 haploid cells. In mitosis, chromatids separate so that each new cell gets a full set of daughter chromosomes. At the first meiotic division, members of homologous pairs separate so that new cells get a haploid set of chromosomes. At second meiotic division, chromatids separate, producing 4 haploid cells.